Well, we might see the woke mind virus inside of Disney finally revealed to the public as quietly a massive lawsuit win happened against Disney yesterday from Gina Carano. Now, you might remember Gina Carano from her career in the UFC or The Mandalorian or Deadpool or her movie The Daily Wire. But most importantly, you may remember her as the person who refused to put pronouns in their bio, was sent to a re-education camp by Disney, and ultimately fired after an army of bots on X, on Twitter, claimed that they were offended that she tweeted out beep boop bop for her pronouns in response to the woke mob. Well, her lawsuit has been funded by Elon Musk, as far as I know, and yesterday there was a landmark victory in this case, granting her discovery. The reason this is important is that means they're going to have to turn over information about Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, other people from The Mandalorian, other Disney Plus Star Wars shows who are not fired. You know, many people like Pedro Pascal made similarly divisive posts on social media about we're not fired. We're about to find out what internal conversations were had about what woke positions were okay and what ones were fireable. This could expose Disney to a multitude of new massive lawsuits, and I'm here for it. Shout out Meta PCs, my computer sponsor. Promo code the quartering to save. Custom builds and ready to ship PCs available. Link in the description. Discovery motion granted in Gina Carano's case against Disney. The court is now forcing Disney to turn over information about how stars like Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, and others from The Mandalorian, other Disney Plus Star Wars shows, and the forthcoming movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, were compensated for their roles. Disney must now produce verified spreadsheets showing actor pay across multiple shows, key evidence that will help show the financial harm that Disney imposed on Gina Carano when she was unfairly and unlawfully terminated. While the courts did not give Gina Carano access to everything she was looking for, they made it clear that we can now seek further evidence on actor compensation if our expert concludes such evidence is still necessary after we review what Disney produces in response to this order. The court is also required to move quickly, giving them only 20 days to comply with the order. The order shows that the court won't let Disney bury relevant information in this high-stakes battle by playing procedural games. Now we can finally get where we have some information here where Gina Carano could continue to put the screws to Disney. Gina Carano wins big against Disney in lawsuit discovery battle. Judge orders Disney to hand over pay records within 20 days. On top of that, two new films Disney put out that have absolutely collapsed. We're going to talk about all that. In a major legal victory for Gina Carano, or lawsuit against Disney, the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California has granted her motion. The court order we talked about already. The motion to compel is basically a legal way of saying they're not giving us what they're supposed to. Judge, make them. Carano's legal team filed this motion back on April 2nd after 8 months of what they claim was stonewalling by Disney during the discovery process. In plain terms, her lawyers needed access to Disney's internal data so damage experts can calculate what Carano likely would have earned had she not been fired unlawfully in 2021. The court agreed, finding Carano's request for the pay data across Star Wars actors was in fact reasonable, relevant, and necessary to establish her lost income. According to the court document, the root substantive and material question relevant to the parties' claims or defense is what information plaintiff needs in order to help establish the amount of compensation she could have reasonably expected to earn from her employment with Walt Disney had Walt Disney not terminated her employment from the Mandalorian TV show back in February of 2021. Now, interestingly, while it didn't grant everything, it did give her legal team the green light on several key points. Disney must produce actor compensation records. The documents must include verified spreadsheets, not of vague summaries or cherry-picked numbers. The scope includes a Mandalorian and other Disney Plus Star Wars series and the upcoming Mandalorian Grogu film. If more records are needed, Carano's lawyers can now ask for them in additional evidence of reviewing what Disney hands over. In short, this isn't just a minor win for Gina Carano Disney lawsuit. It opens the door to even more discovery if the expert believes that the first batch wasn't enough. The order shows that the court won't let Disney bury relevant information in this high-stakes case. Now, what the court granted, we already know. For now, they've denied some other stuff like budgets and things like that. That's not really that big of a deal. Again, this is a pattern of disrespect by Disney for the court for Gina Carano's lawsuit. Her lawsuit, supported financially by Elon Musk, has become a rallying point for critics of cancel culture, forced corporate ideology, and the erasure of dissenting views from entertainment. With the latest court order, the stakes just got higher, and Disney's usual, quote, no comment strategy may not hold water for much longer. This is a great first step. Discovery will help remind people how partisan Disney are, despite what them trying to hide it. Now, what's interesting too is, what if it reveals massive, gender pay gaps? That's not going to look good for the wokies. I mean, what do we know? What's going to be revealed by these files, and how many more files is she going to be able to get access to? Disney also has a stock that's underperforming the market significantly over the last 10 years and may struggle greatly to rebound. Over the past decade, the Walt Disney Company stock performance has presented a rather negative picture for long-term investors, especially when considering inflation and broader market trends. Unlike the torrent of negative articles about Tesla stock after a single quarter of roving crazy scaring customers away, you're unlikely to find a single negative article about Disney even after a decade of decline, even despite the legacy media's penchant for picking and choosing narratives that suit their needs. It's pretty astounding that they've managed to be uncritical of losing money for this long. For example, on April 7th, 2015, Disney stock closed at $97 a share. Fast forward to April 7th, 2025, 10 years later, the stock closed at $82 a share. However, this decline of approximately 14.8% does not account for the eroding effects of inflation over the same period. When you consider that impact, it gets much worse. Inflation significantly impacts the real value of its investments. Between 2015 and 2025, the U.S. experienced an average annual inflation of 3%, culminating in total inflation of 33.7% over the decade. Adjusting Disney's 2015 stock price for inflation of $97.06 in 2015 equates to about $129 in 2025. Therefore, the adjusted decline for Disney stock over this period is nearly 36%, indicating a substantial loss in real purchasing power for investors. In contrast, the broader market, as represented by the S&P 500, has shown totally different dynamics. I mean, the market is up increase of 170% over that period. The S&P stands at 102%. You can see this Disney stock has cratered over this weekend, dipping to below 80 for the first time since 2014. Here's hoping the Disney comeback over the next decade is utterly magnificent. I mean, I don't think that you're going to see that. The theme parks just got left off one of the top vacation places in America. A decade-long investment in Disney, when adjusted for inflation, resulted in a notable loss of real value. I don't know. If we look at, everything's pumping today. I wonder if it's up. It's up, and it's dropping. But I'm guessing that there's a bit of, everybody's probably taking a little bit of profits right now. Yeah, everything's kind of dropping back down a little bit. After the morning was pumping, people are going to take some profits, then it'll go back up. But why? Well, how about this? Amid Snow White's box office struggles, an analyst's response to claims that the film is flopping because it's woke. It didn't even flop because of it's woke. It flopped because of consumer confidence in the Disney product. Look at Black Captain America. It hasn't even hit $200 million, and it's been out for almost 2 months. It's barely cracked 400 million globally, which means this movie also lost money. So you had a tentpole movie like this, grosses 412 million worldwide. That's barely more than the Eternals, Black Widow during the lockdowns, And it's significantly more than the Marvels, obviously, which was a much bigger disaster. But I mean, nobody wants to see Black Captain America. The Minecraft movie, for example, the Minecraft movie is proving just how bad things are for Disney. I mean, the Minecraft movie made something like $300 million. It made $300 million, and by all people's like general reviews of this movie, it's terrible. This says, my 17-year-old just got home, went to see Minecraft movie with a bunch of his buddies. They all grew up playing the game. Like millions who disliked the first release trailer, they were on the fence about going to see it. However, once they got into the movie, everything changed. If you've seen any of the clips on social media, the crowd is very active all throughout the movie. It's basically a meme movie, he told me. I mean, this is a movie, like, it's made $300 million. The worldwide Minecraft movie is looking like a 260+ million debut with about 125 million from foreign grosses so far. This is a movie that critics hate, but people loved. I mean, let me look at this up because I know that that's even higher than that. Minecraft box office. Minecraft office box jolts off late summer slate. This one could be $1 billion movie. This could end up being $1 billion movie. It's not even that good. Like, it's okay, but like, this is not a movie that is apolitical. This is a movie that, people know going into it isn't going to, preach. Jack Black is about the most overrated actor in history. He's literally just playing Jack Black in this movie, but nobody cares. This movie's going to make $1 billion, estimated, $300 million the very first weekend. It's going to get close to $1 billion on a much smaller budget. So what is Disney going to do? Well, have Snow White get called out for massive carbon footprints, because that's what you recruited. You recruited a bunch of woke weirdos, and this is what you get now. They don't pay to see your movies. They don't want to see your movies. They don't care. They're worried about the carbon footprint of Snow White. Like, are you kidding me? The carbon footprint of Snow White? But these are the people that you recruited. These are the people that you want watching your movies, so I hope you enjoy. Don't forget, promo code TheQuarting over at Meta PCs if you're looking to upgrade to the latest and greatest. Custom builds are ready to ship. And don't forget, if you picked up your Mother's Day gift box, to go leave a review on it with a picture. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again real soon.